I see like a major supply glut coming on because of mortgage deferrals? The straight answer is no, I don't. I see this as something that's going to, if anything, get spread through the market in due time. Are there always foreclosures for power of sales? 100%. For whatever reason, people don't sell into a hot market. They walk away. Yet, I don't see this as going to be the catalyst that knocks the market down 50%. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We got another great show here for you today. Actually, today and Wednesday. Listen, I've done tons of research on this. We're going to be talking about the mortgage deferral cliff that, we talked about this back in fall, what we're likely to see, where are we now? So this is kind of the update, what's going on. Obviously, we know that prices are stupid hot. Are we going to see a whole bunch of inventory come on the market because of this? That's going to push prices down, that's going to cause us to be able to pick up some properties cheap. So anyways, we're going to get into it. Let's go. Is there going to be a crap ton of inventory coming on the market that's going to cause prices to fall? Because the real estate market is pretty unsustainable. Now, I've done a ton of research on this. Like, I've spent 8-9 hours going down rabbit holes on the internet. So I would really appreciate a like on this. Let's see if we can get this video up to 1,000 likes. This will be my first one with 1,000 likes. So smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. So when we first did our video, this is CMHC products of insured things. I'm just going to use that because, no offense, anybody who has CMHC mortgages means they put down less than 20%, and I'm assuming, this is my assumption. Guys, comment down below if you think I'm wrong. But people who are putting 20% down or more into this rising market, if they're going to default on their mortgage, they have a crap ton of equity that they can either count on to pay their mortgage, which is I would never advise, or they can sell that property and buy a cheaper property and do okay. So we're going to look at the CMHC deferral rate that was actively deferred. So in August of 2020, in Alberta, there was 15%. British Columbia 7, Manitoba 8, New Brunswick 8, Newfoundland, Labrador 11, Northwest Territories 9, Nova Scotia 8, Nunavut 6, Ontario 6, Prince Edward Island 6, Quebec 7, Saskatchewan 11, Yukon 7. Total was 8% across Canada. So obviously you can see that Alberta was hardest hit at 15%, and that's because obviously oil prices crapped out. The government wasn't really encouraging business there for a while, so they lost a crap ton of jobs. Then we obviously have the September one. So you can see that again, Edmonton was 16%, Calgary was 14%, Toronto 7, Hamilton 5. And then by September, the number of people on deferrals. So this was probably the first month that people would come off deferrals, right? Because if they started in April, then this would be September 30th, they would be back paying their mortgage, right? So Alberta went down to 10%, British Columbia 5, Manitoba 5, Ontario 4. So like they basically all fell by about 40 to 50%. And that's across the board. We'll put that up on the screen. I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but you can see again, some of the numbers. Like Toronto went down to 4%, Hamilton went down to 3%, Calgary 9, Edmonton 11, Vancouver 5, Montreal was 5. So they're obviously getting lower. And by October 31st, Alberta was down to 4%. So it's where not even the healthiest provinces started. Ontario, British Columbia 2, Ontario 1, Quebec 2. So all across Canada was 2%. That was October 31st. Now mortgage deferrals are coming off. What does that mean? Are people actually paying their mortgage now? So at the end of the second quarter, credit unions, mortgage companies had about 7% of their whole portfolios that were deferred, which is right alongside with that CMHC. Here we have November 30th, and if you've taken deferral in, let's count back, so that's 11. So now you're talking like June. And so the majority of people, and it ended in July, right? So July to thing. So let's talk about this again. We talked about this in the video. We'll link that down below originally. So if you did deferral, then you came off deferral and you still weren't able to pay, then the whole process takes another 4 to 6 months before you would ever get foreclosed on or taken power of sale. We're not going to see those people. So again, we saw a huge number drop from August to September. We would expect if those people weren't going to come and pay, that they would start to show up right around now. So January, we have some stats on delinquencies and that we're going to go through. So that's what we're looking at. Yet I've spoken to people that came off deferral, weren't able to pay, and they basically sold their house in a hot market, and they went ahead and they moved, and they were able to, get another position, get another job, because they did lose their job through COVID, and went and got another job. They went and bought a house in a cheaper area. They came out better than if they had just stayed and done whatever they did. So I've heard a lot of that scenario as well. So that's going to take off some of the pressure as well. So let's just look at delinquencies. Let's look at July. Total across Canada was CMHC was 9%, and they were talking about chartered banks had allowed 16% of mortgages to go into deferral since the beginning of the pandemic. So I know that obviously I did that on a bunch of commercial mortgages, 7 of them. The deferral was I had to pay the interest, and they just let me not pay the principal. Super nice of them, huh? 16%, but as you can see, those obviously have come down, right? For the first and second quarter, the delinquencies went up. So basically this is, they've come out of deferral, they can't pay. On average, they went from 0.24 to 0.26. So let's just do a little bit of math here. So a 0.02% increase divided by 0.24. So basically it's about an 8% increase is what we saw. So you tell me if it's a decent sized jump. I mean, it's an 8% increase. So it did raise delinquencies, which, I mean, we are in a pandemic. This is still going on, everyone. Like, we're not back to full employment. Obviously, lockdowns in Ontario, like the job market last month was horrible. So that's for 90 days or more delinquent, right? So that's stuff that's going to come into power of sale. It's going to get, the banks are going to be power of selling this. So we might see some more opportunity there. It's not massive, yet, it's basically 1/4% of all mortgages out there are delinquent 90 or more days. Obviously, we're going to see some, like a lot of those didn't come off yet, so we're still in that 31 to 59 days or 60 to 89 days, which we are seeing an increase as well. So early stage delinquencies, and it depends where you are, but it's gone up since the beginning of 2020. In Newfoundland, obviously it's higher, it's 0.64 than in Prince Edward Island. The eastern provinces are they're falling. Delinquencies are lower in Prince Edward Island. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick they're declining as well. They were higher in 2019 than they are right now. And obviously, I think that's a lot to do with increased property values if you were delinquent. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick have been some of the hottest markets. They're actually lower than they were 8 years ago in 2012. But same with Ontario is super low, 0.14. Again, ridiculously busy markets. You're going to see, if anybody was delinquent, they're basically selling into the hot market right now. And if they're smart, they'd be doing that. Obviously, the Western provinces, you're starting to see it's higher, but it's coming down actually, not going up. Like since the beginning of Q1 of 2020 into Q3, is this gonna collapse? Like, at the end of the day, who knows yet? I don't see a whole lot of these properties that are gonna come on the market. When we're talking about 0.25% of these mortgages that are delinquent 90 or more days, it's just not a lot. And I think a lot of it is in places where they maybe haven't seen that boom yet. The Western provinces, I get some people sending me, foreclosures there or power of sales, whatever they call them out there. I know we don't have that in Ontario, foreclosures. It's an interesting topic, everyone. And do I see like a major supply glut coming on because of mortgage deferrals? The straight answer is no, I don't. I see this as something that's going to, if anything, get spread through the market in due time. Are there always foreclosures for power of sales? 100%. For whatever reason, people don't sell into a hot market. You know, they walk away. Yet, I don't see this as going to be the catalyst that knocks the market down 50%. Hopefully this wasn't too disjointed and you guys like this and you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.